a space, there is stuff. And where that stuff comes from makes up a history that is about relationship. And sometimes the history gets forgotten, but the stuff remains. My name is Heather Murray Elkins, and I invite you into an exercise of remembering, reclaiming that which has been forgotten, and the way in which a community can be restored when that memory comes back. This story begins here with this object. And it literally marks the first time I came into this space called Seminary Hall, Drew Theological School, as a graduate student. And I came in and I'm looking at the walls, trying to read what they mean and discern the stuff that's about. And as I came in, I looked to my left and there was a kind of alcove that had this, and this. Now, I looked at this and I thought, what an interesting place this is. There was literally no art on the walls beyond the art of paintings of long gone professors, almost every single one of them men. And then this. This was the only art. At least that's what I assumed it was. It was art. There was no name, there was no title, and it had been vandalized. Because surely having a pair of broken feet on top of a big square of granite did not make any sense as an artist or to a community. So my assumption was that it had been vandalized, whatever this was, and for some reason it was still being displayed. So I had questions about the place and the people and the ethics and the theology and the aesthetics of the space because of this stuff. Well, by the time I got enrolled and I came and I began my doctoral work here, this disappeared. I didn't see it anymore. So my assumption was I had the wonderful images of professors who were now teaching and being taught by Jesus, but no other art. This broken piece, whatever it was, whatever it meant, had literally disappeared. And it stayed disappeared until I was given my key to the faculty mailroom when I, in fact, was hired to teach here. And so I took my key and I went into the mailroom, and that's a wonderful privilege to have a key. And when I went into the mailroom, I spotted behind the mailboxes in a cardboard box this. It had not been thrown away. It had just been pushed out of sight. But something had happened between the first seeing and how I saw it now. And what had happened was Advent had occurred in my mind, and a text from Isaiah had come from the back room of memory. And that text was, "How beautiful on the mountain are the feet of those who bring the good news." So it suddenly reformed itself. This was a piece of work, of art. This was the vision of a sculptor. Even the broken feet seemed more powerful, that I did not know whose they were, but they began to symbolize to me all those who had passed through these halls and all those who had followed Christ. And we do not know their names, but we do see the marks of their feet. And so I arranged to have it placed on a pedestal because it was, in fact, a signifier who we were in this place and to whom we belonged. Well, then the mystery and the search began to deepen because we had among us a wonderful faculty secretary with memory whose name was Miss Leary Murphy, who forgot nothing. And when she realized I was very interested in this piece of material and and trying to sort out what was its history. She did her own archival work. And from that work came this. We sent out a call. We put out an image. And from an alum in California, we received the picture of what this statue had been when it was first consecrated, dedicated, in fact, placed in this room and this hall. And it is the statue, it is a sculpture of John the Baptist. And this is what it looked like in the beginning. And then, again, from the archives of her memory and the fact that she threw nothing away, came this small stained plaque. And it reads, "In memory of Al Brown, 1938 to 1964. And then the rest of the story got drawn into the light. And the story was that Al Brown was getting ready for graduation, just as many of our seniors now are at this time of year. And he was working with a youth group. And he took his youth group on the first good day out for a hayride. And in that process, a young girl, a junior high girl, she lost her balance on the straw and the hay, and she began falling. And Al reached out and pulled her to safety. But in doing that, he fell and lost his life under the wheels of that vehicle. And so, right as the graduation joy was beginning to blossom, this loss. And so his peers, his graduate friends, those who had accompanied him on this journey, they purchased and dedicated this statue of John the Baptist in his honor, in his memory, to remind them and anyone who saw it about what it means to follow Jesus. And it added great poignancy to those feet, because the text reminds us that it is John the Baptist who says, "I am not worthy to untie the sandals." So the power of these broken feet deepened. So this hangs here, this frame, and this sculpture rests here in the hall, and many students pass it without looking, without reading, without asking. But usually in the spring, when I have a class of almost all seniors, I bring them here in the hallway, and I tell them a story about the feet and the man who laid down his life for someone else, and the understanding of ministry, whether their names are known or unknown, the power of what it means to follow in the way, to be able to claim how beautiful on the mountain are the feet of those who bring good news. So with name, without name, known and unknown, John the Baptist, or a pair of anonymous, broken, faithful feet, this is the paradoxical good news of the gospel. Thanks be to God.
To